Marijuana has been preached to us as something that should never be done for years now. The problem is that many people never even look into the effects of marijuana before preaching as to why it shouldn't be done. I believe that this is solely based on obedience. You see, the government has told us that it's illegal to smoke marijuana and to consider it a drug, so most people take this information at face value. Now, most people are simply just obeying the commands of their superiors, their teachers, their parents, the government. It seems like everybody is in their ear telling them that marijuana is horrible and that if you do it, it's going to ruin your life and just all this false information. I believe that if marijuana becomes legal, then more people would be open to trying it simply because they're not disobeying the commands of their superiors. Tobacco products have been proven numerous times to have deadly effects, but because they're legal, people are more open to trying them. I think the solution to this problem is that we need to start thinking for ourselves. If we simply obey the commands of our authorities without thinking for ourselves, we're going to get nowhere.
Hi, I'm Blake Tim. The construct I'm going to be talking about today is a confirmation bias. So many individuals against the legalization of marijuana tend to use confirmation bias without being aware of it. This is our tendency to seek, interpret, or create information that verifies existing beliefs. For example, a person using confirmation bias against the legalization of marijuana will try and find facts to support the argument of why it is bad, even if they are outdated or found to be false or completely untrue. This is much like in class, how we talked about how people still believe vaccinations cause autism based on an article from about 30 years ago, and even that's been disproven, but people still use that as an argument today. So overall, confirmation bias is very prevalent in those who seek to not legalize marijuana.
Belief perseverance plays a large role in why marijuana is not legalized throughout the United States today. Despite multiple studies coming out in recent years about how marijuana is no more harmful than tobacco, and how it can be used to treat ailments such as nausea and seizures, and also improve the quality of life for patients with cancer, HIV, and multiple sclerosis, marijuana continues to be outlawed on the federal level. This is a great example of belief perseverance and how existing stereotypes about marijuana, like how it's as bad as drugs such as heroin since it's classified on the same level by the federal government, persevere in the face of solid scientific evidence. Many people still believe marijuana to be harmful, and while some of that could be due to lack of exposure to recent information, many people still deny the scientific basis that upholds the argument for marijuana's legalization. In order to achieve solid change, we need to defeat this belief perseverance and rely on solid scientific evidence that's already been published and corroborated in order to legalize marijuana on the federal level.
Majority influence is also known as conformity, which is simply defined as yielding to group pressures. In terms of marijuana legalization, over the past quarter century, the population of current users has more than doubled to 22 million, and the fraction of those users who report near daily use has more than tripled to about 35%. Two-thirds of Americans say the use of marijuana should be legal, and around 9/10 of Americans favor legalization for recreational or medical purposes. With the federal government unable to prevent states from legalizing marijuana, on November 6, 2012, Colorado and Washington became the first two states to legalize marijuana. 2 years later, two other states followed. In 2016, four more states legalized. 11 states in total have now legalized. The time is now to support efforts by Congress and numerous states to legalize marijuana and to advance policies that repair the racially discriminatory harms of marijuana criminalization.
Is a use of actions or facts to persuade individuals into changing their beliefs or ideals. It is used to support the outlaw of the drug marijuana with the use of some constructs. For example, informational influence is the use of facts or information from a specialist to support their claims. For example, a researcher can claim that marijuana addiction can lead to death, violence, or health issues. The halo effect is which an important individual with a good impression can sway someone into believing differently, like a celebrity condoning that drugs are bad. Lastly, compliance is used to ask or negotiate for something, like the government asking the states to outlaw or make drugs illegal.
One main goal of culture is to reduce aggression. I believe this can apply to marijuana usage in the United States. While marijuana can have a negative effect on human emotion, I believe it can also be a crucial bridge into finding your inner self. Marijuana can be a social drug which can really bridge a gap into the psyche, but like any kind of vice, abuse can lead to negative effects. Nevertheless, I believe alcohol can be much more harmful than marijuana due to statistics concerning drunk driving and other alcohol-related fatalities. And alcohol is legal. There has been one THC overdose recorded in the United States, and that was this past year. According to Newsweek, coroner Christy Montague said she believes this case is the first of its kind. Alcohol is the third leading preventable cause of death in the United States, according to the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism. And I believe alcohol can have just as many, if not more, antisocial effects on humans. Not only that, but alcohol is much more of an aggressor than marijuana. Everything really depends on the person, but according to the PowerPoint, people learn to control their aggressive behaviors. Marijuana is a calming drug which can be both social and introspective.